Hey guys, this is going to be part 1 in a new video series I'm going to be doing on how to solve cuboids. Now, cuboids are something that I have been getting into a lot more lately, so I figured I would go ahead and post a few on how to solve certain cuboids. And my plan is to start with the most basic cuboids and work my way up to the higher level ones because you need the foundations to understand the bigger ones. So without further ado, this is part 1 in that series, and we're going to be talking about the 3x3x1. Now this is a pretty easy cuboid if you just mess around with it, if you try and scramble it. If you mess around with it long enough, you're eventually going to get it solved accidentally without even looking at it, just because there's only a few possible permutations of this puzzle, but we'll go ahead and talk about it. So it's going to be pretty easy, but you need to know how to solve this to solve some of the higher order cubes sometimes. So let's scramble it. Alright, so I've got this in a scramble. It's pretty hard to scramble this again because part of it will start to get solved again. But so the first step is you want to fix all of the edge pieces. So as you can see here, three of these edges are oriented correctly and one of them is not, and it's that same thing on the other side. Now, because of how this puzzle is constructed, these edges can't go anywhere. They can only be flipped. This orange one can never go over here where the green one is, because all they can do is just rotate in place. So all you have to do is make sure that they're oriented correctly. So if I had, none of them oriented correctly like this, then I would just flip all of them, and it doesn't really matter what order you flip them in. But yeah, so now I've got all of them flipped correctly. And then you want to position the corners. You don't really need to worry about the orientation of the corners because if they're in the right position, they will be oriented correctly. There's no way for them to be in the right spot but flipped. So I'm going to look around the cube, or the cuboid, and I have one corner that's in the right spot. This red and green one. This one is not in the right spot, this one is not in the right spot, and this one is not in the right spot. So we're going to think about this cube for a second. Now, this one's in the right spot, so we'll keep that one back here. This one needs to go all the way over here. This one needs to go over here, and this one needs to go over here. So we need to cycle these three in this order. We need to move this one over here, and this one here. And I can just look at the colors that are on each corner and be able to tell that. There's nothing on the top of the puzzle that really will show you that. So if I switch these two, then this one will get in the right spot, but this one will get over here and this one won't. So if I do that, then what I can do then, though, is, so what I did there is I switched those two. And so now this one is in the right spot, but these two are not, and now this edge is messed up. But if I flip this over and switch these two, and then flip it back, it fixes the cube. Now, I don't know if you saw what I did there, but what I did was, okay, I know that these three need to be cycled like this. So I'm going to flip this over to get one in the right spot, and so then I only have the other two. And so if I flip this one over, then I can switch these two around. That'll fix the center, the edge that we messed up before, and then it'll form this block so that when I rotate it, everything is in the right spot. Again, this is a pretty easy puzzle. You'll probably solve it without even meaning to a few times, and it's very intuitive. You don't really need any algorithms or really any instruction to learn how to solve this. Anyone can figure it out on their own, but I wanted to go ahead and make this video just as the basis for building up on it later, because learning how to solve this does come in handy for later cubes. So, sorry if this was a little boring, but thank you guys for watching anyways, and I'll see you in the next video.